Gary with Gary Sprinkler Repair Service, and today I'm going to show you how to take a sprinkler valve off. Okay, first thing you want to do is determine what is your water source for your sprinkler valves. These are the two valves I'll be removing today. That's the house water over here on the left, this guy right here, and that one will be for the irrigation. Dead giveaway is it's on PVC pipe rather than metal pipe. So, and this comes straight up to a regulator, straight up to your hose bib and into your house. So that one there on the left, that's the house water. That one over there, that's your irrigation for the sprinkler valves. So next thing I want to show you over here is where we're going to do our cut. So these valves, as you can see, are not the same height. So one of the things I want to do is try to even them up. So I'm going to have to add some couplings, kind of like how somebody did here. Raise the valve up to where they're the correct size so they're both the same height when I'm done. So this one, somebody did incorrectly. It leaks right here. So we're going to have to replace it again, plus the wires kind of tore up on the top here on the solenoid. And this one leaks from the flow control in there. So we're going to go ahead and cut below the coupling here on both sides. And over here, we're going to cut below the male adapter, this white thing right here. Could put the blade right below there, cut on both sides. But again, first, you need to turn your water off. For the job, it's going to be a reciprocating battery-operated DeWalt saw. And I'm going to be using a blade that looks kind of like a hacksaw blade. So you can see little tiny teeth. And I use a short blade just so that when I'm cutting one valve off, I don't end up hitting the pipe from the other one. If you use a longer blade, they tend to get in the way. You also want to make sure your wires are out of the way. The other thing you want to do is check and see what your wire colors are. Go ahead and cut them, get them out of the way, disconnect them so that they're ready to go. And you don't have to worry about cutting anything. But here's a good example of a wire that's going to be in your way. So you might want to get that out of your way first before you start doing any of the work. When you're cutting, you want to make sure that the table of the saw, so you can see I'm going to put the blade right there underneath the coupling. So you can see it's right under the coupling. And then I want to get that table, so see the black table on the saw? You want it all the way up tight against the saw. If you have it back here, that saw is going to sit and shake the crud out of everything, and it's going to end up snapping the pipe off, and then you're going to have a big problem. So you want to make sure this table on the saw, so I'm going to point to it, that table is all the way up tight against that pipe to cut it off. And there you have it, just like that. You've got them all cut off. I even used a level. So if you want to be sure, always take your level, slap your level on the back over here and see if they're nice and level before you proceed. And you can also take the level and go this way from here to here and make sure that they're right. This one does have a pipe that leans a little bit, makes life a little interesting, but if it's leaning when you start, make sure you cut it on that same angle and make sure it's still leaning when you're done. Because if you try to pry this pipe here backwards, you're just going to put stress on it down there at the 90 and it'll break. So, and if it doesn't break now, it'll break in a month or two. Also, we can see here our water shut off. If I muck the water and get all the shavings out of the pipe like that, to get all your PVC shavings out. Other thing you can do is put a piece of coupling on here and a small piece of pipe and cover this side up and blow all the shavings out, and then trade sides do the same thing going the other way. That'll get all the PVC shavings out, but you can see here our water shut off doesn't work very well. So in this case, on this house, I'll have to shut it off down at the curb, because you can see up here, even though our shutoff's here, we have a second shutoff. That shutoff is above that. So that's not going to help me with the source of water coming from down there at the ground up and going over to that right-hand shutoff, that red one. So the shutoff for that is at the street. So I'd have to shut it off there and turn their whole entire house water off to be able to glue something on here, because otherwise the glue's never going to set. You won't get it to glue on there effectively. Also, when you cut your wires off, if you can see the valve on the right, this black one that used to be there, the green one on the left, has nothing to do with the color of the valve. But we determined the wire colors, we cut them off and just put them over here. You can see the common was white down here, and then the upper right one is red, and the upper left one is a green. And so that way I know when I go put them back together, this valve's going to get a red wire, that valve's going to get a green wire, and they share the white. Well, hopefully you liked our video today. This one was a short one, but they don't always have to be long. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe and hit the subscribe button and tap the notifications bell so that you'll be notified anytime we add a new video down the road. And if you got any questions or comments that you'd like to make to help us improve the channel, feel free to leave those in the comments section, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I reply to all comments. So again, thanks for subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed the information, and hopefully it helps you out with any of the projects you got to do this week.